should introduce us.
All right, chat's open.
Okay. Hey, chat.
Hi, Chad.
Hello.
Are we live?
You're live.
Okay.
Can we see
Great.
Mabel's? Can we see?
Yeah. Well, chat will pop up. Here. Hi, everyone. Anyone watching the recording, my name is Jake. I am the Student Success and Engagement Coordinator with the University of Iowa School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
There you go. Okay. As long as I know.
Yeah.
There you go. Excellent bit rate. Thank you all.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Wow.
All right.
Hello.
Okay.
Who wants to take the lead?
Do you guys want to start by introducing yourselves, I guess?
Yeah,
Sure.
good.
Let's go around the table. Do you want to start, Finn?
I can start. Yeah. What do we want to hear? Do you want names?
Probably name.
Okay. Cool. Hey guys.
Think about the journalism school, maybe.
Maybe like what you're involved in too.
Oof. Okay. That's a lot, but I can do it.
Anything and everything you think of, or you're
Yes. Social Security number. Hello everyone, anyone who's watching. My name is Finn Grogan and I am a senior student here at the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Man, I am not good with live streaming.
What you're involved in.
Yes, so I am an ideal tech tutor with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, as well as a lab monitor for the School of Journalism. In my free time, I am also involved with the media team with the Hawkeye Marching Band, and I am involved with another music fraternity on campus.
Hi, my name is Emma Jane. I am a junior, technically. I'm a transfer student. I am a news reporter for the Daily Iowan, and I have a independent podcast outside of school, minor in Indigenous Studies.
Little squeak. I'll scoot in. Hi all, my name is Jamie Martin Trainer. I'm a third-year student at the University of Iowa, double majoring in journalism and political science, and then minoring in gender studies. I work at the journalism school as a student ambassador. I do a lot of back-end website stuff for the school. And then I work for the Daily Iowan as the current managing digital editor, and then next year I'll be the executive editor.
Hi, I'm Liam Howleth. I'm a third-year journalism student at the university. I am the politics editor at the Daily Iowan, and I do a lot of writing about politics, state politics, national politics, local politics. Yeah. There you go.
Hi, I'm Josh Rayner. I am a third-year student here at the University of Iowa, double majoring in journalism and political science. I serve on the Dean's Undergraduate Student Advisory Committee, and I'm a peer mentor here at the journalism school, so that takes up most of my time.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Lean. I'm a junior mass comm major with a international studies minor. Mine's kind of a mouthful, but I'm involved in the School of Journalism Student Advisory Board. I'm a social media marketing intern for the department. I'm a podcast co-host for the Iowa City Foreign Relations Council, and then I also write for the Daily Iowan in Opinions.
Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Chase. I'm a senior here at the journalism school on the strategic communications track. I'm also earning a minor in political science. On campus, I'm involved in our PRSSA chapter, Public Relations Student Society of America, and I serve as the professional development director there. And I'm also a member of the Iowa Student Veterans Association.
Hi, my name is Maxwell Willis. I am a junior studying journalism and mass communications. I also have a double major in African American studies and then a minor in sport and recreation management. I am also an intern for the School of Journalism as a social media / marketing intern. And then I also just do some miscellaneous tasks for the graduate school and other departments that need video and copy work. And then you want to to just go about like how one day?
Yeah, so today's One Day for Iowa. It's our big fundraising day, and I think we just decided to get a group of students together to kind of like share our experiences and how One Day for Iowa has affected us within the School of Journalism. So I don't want to completely take the reins, but I was thinking we could also just like talk for a second about why we chose the School of Journalism and why Iowa for journalism. If that sounds good. I chose Iowa because I actually did not know what I really wanted to do post-graduation, except that I wanted to create. And so I chose the School of Journalism because I knew it could take me on a very open path, and it could kind of change alongside my interests and my passions. And I think the School of Journalism at the university has just been an incredibly welcoming, beneficial, and educational program that has really helped me reach my full potential inside the field of journalism and mass media and outside.
Yeah, I wish I had like a good answer like that, but I got interested in journalism through doing my podcast, which is about missing and murdered Indigenous women, and just kind of realizing how much more press coverage and journalism there needed to be about this topic, and kind of wanting to take that to the next level, get, educated, and not just do an independent podcast, but hopefully be able to do something more. And I'm not gonna lie, I just came to the University of Iowa because my mom and my sister graduated from here, and I live in Iowa, and it just kind of made sense. But I have been really, really happy with my experience at the journalism school, and I'm really happy that I kind of fell into this and just picked this school. Especially like just the student center has been like a really great resource. We have like, free snacks and coffee, so like that's always a plus. And like with the fundraising today, we also have a podcast studio, which has been really helpful for me with my interests outside of school. And Jake, who you saw at the beginning of the stream, has just been like very supportive, especially for me, like as a transfer student, kind of like a non-traditional student. He's just been great, lots of support at the university. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I've been doing journalism since I was a high school student, so this is sort of like a natural progression for me. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so it's, not like it's wicked far from Iowa City, so this is a, great school to go to. I've loved my time here. I'll say that, I'm a first-generation college student in my family, so Iowa in particular, I noticed, had a lot of really strong programs and staff and faculty members that were supportive and definitely helped pave the way into college for me, so that's been really, really great for me personally.
Yeah, so I chose the University of Iowa mainly for the Daily Iowan and the relationship that the Daily Iowan and the school of journalism have together. Because, like Jamie, I started doing journalism in high school and really thought that I wanted to continue that into my higher education. And I just was looking at the different programs. I was looking at Mizzou and other areas around, other journalism schools across the country, and I thought that the UI just really had the kind of mix that I wanted. It was close to home. I'm from Mount Pleasant, so it's only a 45-minute drive away. And then it's also got, an award-winning student newspaper that has given me personally a lot of experience and things that I don't think I would have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, so I chose the University of Iowa because, it was kind of hard because it was just during COVID, so we just, I didn't even tour. I just kind of was like, it's in-state, so that's where I decided to go. But I decided to go down the journalism path just because I like to write. I went to a rural public school in southwest Iowa, so we didn't really have access to, like a school paper or anything like that. So I was kind of going out on a limb with it. And I discovered while I was here, I didn't really want to go down the traditional journalism route. So it was really nice to have the degree be so malleable that you can go down the strategic communication route. So that's where I've kind of learned that everyone here is just so helpful, and they'll help you make what you want happen.
Yeah, Yeah, so I'm kind of like the others with I'm a non-traditional student. I'm a transfer student. So I chose the University of Iowa, kind of like Josh. I didn't tour anything. It was just kind of spur of the moment type thing. But the reason I chose journalism was because it's kind of something I've always wanted to do. My dad was a journalism major, and throughout high school I worked for a student-run business that was kind of centered around journalism, social media, graphic design, stuff like that. So it was always something I was just interested in. And the University of Iowa kind of coming into it a little blind has been great with helping me figure out my niche, even if I haven't quite centered it down to one certain thing. It's gotten me kind of used to my experience and kind of put me in the right direction to what I wanted to be involved in and what I want to do in the future. So yeah, that's why I chose Iowa.
I think I chose Iowa and the journalism school specifically because I knew that Iowa had a great writing program, or was always known for its writing capabilities. And I was thinking, how can I apply this practically? Because I felt like I've always had a knack for writing. And I think the School of Journalism, whether you go into news writing, broadcast, or Stratcom, I think you have these foundational skills that give you the ability to write. And I think, not to plug, but from donations and based on on the trips I've gone through the journalism school, and we've gone to conferences, and a lot of these industry professionals have talked about the importance of writing in this day and age, especially as AI has come in. I think the School of Journalism has really helped me round off my writing skills into being a really good professional writer.
So when I was in high school trying to figure out like what I wanted to do, I knew I was like really invested in sports. But like, you know, how do I go about that? And so I knew that I was really interested in writing. And I was like, you know, researching all the schools. Like Iowa was one of the schools that popped up. And like I took a tour here. They gave me a really good scholarship. So like I knew I had to come here and be a part of this program. And then like once I got here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like do all this writing. And then once I started taking like other courses, like the multimedia course, and having like content marketing, there's all these different like options that you can have. So I'm just really grateful like to be here and like not have to like be stuck to one path, and I can like take multiple different courses, be involved in like multiple different programs, and learn all these different skills.
Now just talk about like experiences you might have had that one day at Iowa.
Yeah, definitely. I can talk a lot about that then. So I originally came in to the program wanting to be a writer, and then I quickly, after courses like multimedia storytelling and kind of dipping my feet into this like realm of digital media and mass media, that quickly became kind of like my new place I wanted to go and grow from. I think, and with One Day for Iowa, a lot of our technology, especially in the Student Center, is supplied by One Day for Iowa. So I do want to give like a really big plug. We just opened up a podcast studio. Was it this year? Last year? Last semester. And that's been it's been super cool to be able to like use, I suppose, these like real world technology and this like actual programming, so that when time comes, and this is a me, it's so great to know that we have this type of software and program to practice on in classes and in the Student Center, and that then helps us prepare how to use it in like internships or jobs. And so that's just kind of like the technology available for students to use, and the resources about that technology is really one of the things that's the greatest. That's
Well, yeah, not to be repetitive, but I actually didn't know that the podcast studio is so recent. I'm only in my first semester here, so I came at a good time. because I love that. I love the podcast studio. It is such a night and day difference from recording at home, where I used to, like, I built like a sound booth out of PVC pipe and blankets, and I would like sit in there and record, and the sound quality was night and day difference than actually being in a professional studio. So it's just really cool to have that resource as a student to, like, I'm sure I'll use it going forward for like different classes that I take, but to also have it available for, you know, my outside of class work. It's just been really great. So yeah, donations are important. They have a big impact. And yeah, like she said, it's cool to know how to use the kind of like professional gear that hopefully I'll be, you know, using someday in my post-college life. I'm sorry. Oh, you're good.
Yeah, a little bit veering away from the tech side. I just went on a very cool trip funded by the journalism school. So endless thanks to them. I was at NICAR, which is this like big investigative data journalism conference that happens every year, and it's huge in terms of the industry. Like, it's not aimed at students, it's aimed at industry professionals, but students are obviously invited and welcome to come into the journalism school, funded for a group of people to go to NICAR in Baltimore. So, you know, get to travel, get to see some stuff, and, you know, learn a lot. And yeah, it was a great experience. I'm going to be interning in New York City this summer, so I got the chance to meet some of the folks that I'm going to be working with and start making those connections now prior to moving, which is incredible and super helpful. And, you know, like, I'm doing class assignments in at the journalism school, and we'll like do readings from different industry professionals that I had the chance to meet at this conference. So it's really cool to get to be immersed in the professional sphere and make those connections through the journalism school. So endless thanks, and that's definitely help funded by, you know, donations that come from One Day for Iowa.
Yeah, I think another thing that's very interesting about the journalism school is the like range of scholarships that they have. You know, whether it's like grant funding to go, you know, take some unpaid internship somewhere, or, you know, even just to subsidize housing for your internship and things like that. There's just a wide swath of opportunities for scholarships. Another thing that I think is I really benefit from at the journalism school is just like the number of internships, and the internship coordinator, Michelle, she's very great at, you know, getting you connected with industry professionals and getting you world experience and like active newsrooms. I know me and Jamie last summer interned at the Cedar Rapids Gazette, and, you know, a lot of other great opportunities come from, you know, the journalism school and being able to connect with those industry professionals, like Jamie said.
Yeah, I definitely echo what everyone else said, but I'd like to add to all of the student employees that are paid by the journalism department also get paid through the One Day for Iowa donations. So I currently work as a peer mentor. So there are 4 of us total, and we work to help students with whatever they need. And that's a year-round position. So we help them with study nights. If they need help on papers, finals, we're going to host final study nights. So we're just here to help in any way that especially freshmen and sophomore students need. We kind of plug in wherever we're needed. And then I'd also just like to echo about the podcast studio as well. I'm currently taking nonfiction narrative podcasting, and it's a really interesting experience. It's not something I've really done before, and just having that experience and working with, you know, a small group of people in a way like that just, you know, gives a lot more to your college experience.
Yeah, I'm going to echo a lot of what Josh just said too, I guess, and what everyone else just said. It's a lot of repeats here, but like I said before, I also work as a student employee here in the journalism department through my position. I think Jake said it was the developmental fund that helps support us student workers here, but through my position, I work a lot on, me and Max both do, the social media marketing side for the journalism department. So we kind of tend to things like this, our live stream, but also newsletters that go out to different alumni and faculty, as well as highlighting some of the things that students and faculty and graduate students have done. So a lot of what we do here through donations helps us with real world experiences, such as being able to use equipment checkout, cameras, microphones, tripods, basically anything that we can get through the university to help with content and stuff that comes through donations. Also through the Student Advisory Board, I'm also well supported through that. And basically what we do in there is we meet once a month and we discuss kind of what's going on in the journalism school and different events coming up, and we also plan certain events. So we're basically there as a resource and a voice for other students to make sure that the journalism school is on track and growing and is well-rounded. So that's what I do.
Yeah, a couple of really neat experiences I've been privileged to have through the journalism school in like just the last 6 months. I mentioned that I'm part of the PRSSA exec board, and a few of us had the privilege to go to PRSA's national conference in Nashville, which afforded us an opportunity to, one, learn how to kind of set up our chapter because we're just starting, but two, network with other students and industry professionals, which is just really great real-world experience that you can't get anywhere else. But then also recently over spring break, we were fortunate enough to go on a communications law trip to Washington, D.C. Which it was really neat because we got to talk to a few nonprofits, including Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. We got to go to FCC meetings, go to NPR and talk to a world-renowned journalist named Carrie Johnson, who is also a former Big Ten grad, and go to the NBC Washington, D.C. Bureau. Just a really, really neat experience that I was not expecting to have while I was here. So, and then one other thing on the technology thing is a few of us are in a drones for media production class, which is something I never thought I would get to do while I'm here, and it's very very cool. We're going to start flying soon, so I had to plug that. This is way out here. Thanks.
So last summer, I got to have an internship with the Morning Blend, which is like a local morning talk show. And so I got a scholarship for that, and that was really helpful and something that I needed. So I'm just grateful for the donations from One Day for Iowa, and the fact that the journalism school can help me out and recognize the work that I got to do, being behind on set of a live show, and getting to do stand-ups, getting to do my own teleprompter reads and that sort of thing. And then also all the technology we get, just like what was mentioned with the drones and that type of stuff, the experiences that other schools and programs don't have. I'm grateful to get those. You can just introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name's Aiden Wirtz. Talking about experiences, stuff like that. Yeah, so I work for the Daily Iowan TV as well as KRUI Radio. DITV's been pretty sweet. We've had people like Stephen A. Smith come in and talk to us, Mark Shapiro. That's been a really cool experience. I'm just a sophomore here. I did not want to do TV coming in. Somebody told me about it, and I was like, sure, I guess I'll do it. And it's been a blast so far. It's been some great experiences. I've gotten to travel. I just got back from a trip a couple days ago. I went to the Wrestling National Championships, got to cover that for TV, and then radio's been awesome. I've been able to call play-by-play broadcast games as well. That's been super fun. Journalism school here is awesome. It's been fantastic. So there's some really cool experiences, and the people here are great. Both teams for KRUI and for DITV are just amazing people. So yeah.
Well, maybe if you can talk about some classes that we've taken that have provided some really cool experiences, real-world experiences.
Sure.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. This is less of a class. I know he's teaching classes now, but anybody have a class with Wayne Drace at all? Yeah. So I did a workshop with him, and he's obviously a former ESPN sports writer. But just to have his experience, to come in and talk to us about, the people he's interviewed, the techniques in which he's interviewed, that's been super cool. And that's been one of the benefits of having the journalism school here help out, journalism students, is you got one-on-one time with Wayne, who's obviously written stories about Michael Phelps and Tiger Woods. So that was pretty sweet. And then right now I'm in reporting and writing and multimedia storytelling, which I know are essential classes for journalism majors, but those just kind of help excel your skills with both video, audio, written stories, interviews, stuff like that. So kind of to set the basics, but then excel in classes with Wayne and obviously with other professors like that.
Well, like I said earlier, I'm just in my first semester here, so I haven't really taken a lot yet. I'm going to get into like reporting and writing and multimedia in the fall semester. But I guess something I can speak to with like the journalism school, it's not really a class, but I did start working for the Daily Iowan. I'm pretty new still, I'm in my first month, but it has been great so far. It really does feel like you're getting that like professional experience. I've written before, but it's so different doing something for like a publication that's actually going out rather than just like for social media or for class. So I feel like that has been really valuable, and I'm sure will be like really great experience for actually getting out into the field. And speaking of class, I have to go to class now, so thanks for tuning in. Yeah.
Incredible. That was really smooth. I love it.
Thank you.
I took a class last year. It was like a pretty small, and it's not offered every semester, but it was information and data visualization. Super cool class. We got to work with a lot of like different programming programs. Different programs, like we learned the basics of R, which is super complicated and hard, but the way it was boiled down is pretty easy. So it's essentially like taking like big databases of numbers that you can't just like plug into a line chart and making cool stuff with it. I don't know if like long term I'll go into data journalism. I think that would be really neat, but that class definitely guided what I want to do and where I want to go with my journalistic career. And it was just fun to get to like, do the number side of things. Then we transition to the design side of things. Then we kind of put all the pieces together at the end to do this very cool infographic project. And now it's like hanging up on the walls in the journalism building. So it's cool to see not only the personal progress that came out of that class, but the like actual tangible outcome of all the things that we learned.
Yeah, I think in terms of classes, the one I found the most interesting is probably one I'm taking this semester with Brett Johnson, who's a media ethics and law professor here at the J School. It's called Public Affairs Reporting and Writing, where we talk a lot about public records and the importance of them and how to obtain them, and we're working on long-term projects on using public records and requesting them and things like that. So I think that's been probably my favorite experience so far.
Yeah, I'm currently taking strategic communication campaigns with Kyla Heading, and we're currently working with the city of Dubuque on advising them on their sustainability drive in the city. I think it was about in 2017 or 2018, Dubuque came out with a climate action plan, but when they were just trying to roll it out in 2020, COVID hit and it kind of blew up their plan. So we've been helping Dubuque try and get that back on track, and so it's provided a lot of like real world experience working with an actual city in Iowa. We made a trip up to Dubuque in February and talked to their public information officer. We talked to their head of sustainability, and then some neighborhood groups as well. So that's just provided a lot of experience that I wouldn't get otherwise through a class. So you're kind of getting a 2-for-1 in that sense. So it's just provided a lot of real world experience that I wouldn't have had.
Yeah, I think I've had many different like classes that were really interactive and helped a lot with real world experience, but I think one of them that has been like the most influential for me was my multimedia storytelling class, which is kind of like an entry-level prereq class that we have to take here. But through that experience, I got to record my own podcast and edit it. Record like a news segment, edit it, and then do like a photo story and edit it too. So it just kind of gave us real world experiences where we had to actually go out into our community and create something. Again, and that helps with the donations due to our equipment so that we need for those classes. So that's been really beneficial. I also took a content marketing class with Adam Kempnar, and through that we worked directly with the men's basketball team, and we got to create kind of like a content plan for them to gain attendance, which was really cool, kind of giving ideas from a student perspective to real world people that work those jobs. And then, like Chase said, we are in a drone class right now, which is pretty crazy, but that equipment is not cheap. So that is really helpful through donations as well.
So I think my favorite class here at the journalism school is one that I'm in currently. It's content marketing with Jeff Grishmore. He's a professor of practice, so it means he has a real job outside of here. But he is guiding us in creating a content plan for a local performing arts high school here in Iowa City. And we're just starting to do that work. And I think like that real world experience, and we're going to actually have material for our portfolios once we get out of here and real client work. And I think that's going to speak volumes when we get done. So.
Thanks. I have two classes. The first one is content marketing that Kennedy had mentioned with Adam Kempenaar, and just really grateful that like he's somebody who graduated from the University of Iowa and like came back to come teach, and he worked at the Blackhawks for 20 years, so he has all that experience to be a professor in practice and come back. So it kind of just shows like the community that we have here, and for the journalism department, and that he's willing to really come back and like teach us, and he's really invested in it. So now I'm like taking another 2 of his courses this semester, and then like that ability to or opportunity to work with the men's basketball team and the athletic department, and get to like at the end of the semester present to them all of our ideas and suggestions to help improve the student section. And then the second class was the drone class. The school paid for us to take our tests, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket to take that test and get the license. And that license that I have now, so now I get to practice and actually like take the drone out and get to fly it.
Jamie, do you want to talk about what you're doing post-grad, if you're comfortable with it?
Yeah, I can't say the publication's name yet. I'm unlocking key. But I can share like what I'll be doing. So yeah, I recently got an internship at an unnamed publication because I can't drop that yet, unfortunately. Come April, check out the Twitter. But like a pretty big publication, I would say, in New York City. And it's a unique program, so I'll go there over the summer, have the internship, and then I'll be back in Iowa to finish my degree because gotta graduate, and then I'll go back to New York City and have a job for a year and a half, which is super cool. I was like literally the day before I got the email asking to interview was like stress looking up grad schools, like maybe I'll go to grad school. Not yet, maybe later. So that was really neat. It's working in audience analytics and engagement, so essentially like seeing what stories are performing well and then working with the other departments in the newsroom to sort of help guide what coverage could be, continued or furthered or built upon with following stories. And it's been really neat. I've been working in like analytics and audience engagement for the past few years at the Daily Iowan, and it's been neat to see, we're doing a lot of coverage of the Iowa women's basketball team, so to get to see that growth firsthand has been super cool. And knowing that there is like some sort of impact in terms of the back end stuff to help readers see stories and help stories connect with readers is super important. And an old journalism advisor in high school told me this, but if you're writing a story and no one reads it, then it's hard to have impact and it's hard to see the worth in that story. So if there's anything behind the scenes in terms of pulling strings to help get content to reach people, that's sort of where I found my journalistic career leading me. And I can also say that the 2 internships that I had before, both in Iowa, that helped me get this internship and job, the journalism school essentially helped me get those 2 internships. One was with KCCI in Des Moines, so the journalism school had people come in to interview students from KCCI, so had a summer in broadcast. And then, like Liam said, last year, I was interning at the Cedar Rapids Gazette, which was also the journalism school brought in the editor of the Gazette for students to come into this exact room and chat. So super, super helpful in terms of, getting that experience here at Iowa to, go out and expand beyond afterwards, which is fun.
How about we just go around now and talk about maybe like post-grad, what we're thinking of doing?
Yeah. I feel like I tackled that. So
Yeah.
I can pass her back.
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just a sophomore here. I think my dreams change about every week probably. But I think my main goal is to do something with sports play-by-play broadcasting, whether that means going out. I think going out west would be cool first post grad. I think trying to find somewhere out there. I've seen internships in like Oregon and stuff for like minor league baseball teams and whatnot. That'd be pretty cool. The big goal there, I think, whether it's written journalism, TV, or sports broadcasting, is just to build a community. I think that's so important to me. Is getting to know people around me, not just going to work and coming home, but like seeing people along the way. I think that's something that Iowa kind of preaches a lot too, is not just like doing your work and leaving, but like building a community, knowing the people. And it's fun to see people outside of work. Like obviously you see them in work, but it's nice to see them outside, check up on them, see how they're doing, see what they're up to. So that's the main goal, sports broadcasting, something with that. Besides that, yeah, I mean, if TV's there too. So we'll see. I don't know. Something with media, I guess. That's the main goal. Yeah.
Yeah, so at the DI, I've had a chance to kind of explore politics journalism. At the DI, we have the unique opportunity of covering, the Iowa caucuses. I helped our executive editor, Sabina Martin, lead our caucus coverage this February and, do enterprise stories, day of coverage, things like that. And, I've gotten a ton of other unique experiences at the DI with just like covering national and state politics, things that not a lot of college papers get to do. So that's been very interesting. So obviously, that's probably my natural progression, is to go into some kind of political journalism after college, and things like that is probably where I'm going to go. So probably statewide political reporting is what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the flip side of that. I am also a political science major, and I want to go into something with strategic communications, so I don't know whether that'll lead to working in PR for something on the Hill or something like that. I've looked at internships with the committees in the House of Representatives, and I've talked to a lot of my political science side of things on how to get there and how to do that. So yeah, kind of looking more towards the PR side of things.
Yeah, I really don't know. Sometimes, like, mine change every day. But right now, I'm really interested in the social media side of things. I'd like to do kind of like news social media, if that makes sense. Working for like a news corporation, but posting that news as reels or just content for their social medias. I also think that doing a podcast would be cool. I listen to the New York Times, The Daily every day, so that's just something that interests me as well. Other than that, I like writing too, so I'm kind of all over the place, but yeah. Oh God.
Surprised that's the first time that's happened.
Right?
So I'm kind of in a different situation, I think, than most students here. So I'm 27 going on 28. I'm a student veteran, and I was in the military for 7 years, and I did like some like print and video journalism when I was in the military, and I think coming here I really wanted to round off my communications and messaging skills in hopes to do something that is still connected to either the military as a whole or veterans. And I think I really want to either work like within a government agency or maybe a military branch as a whole or defense contractor, but I think I'd really like to utilize my communication skills and military experience to help veterans in the long run.
Sorry, wait, what was the question again?
Post-grad.
Oh yeah, post-grad. Okay. I think either like marketing or some form of like content creation. I think while I also had like the internship last summer with the Morning Blend, I also had an internship with the Bucks on the arena marketing side, and so I got to like I had to work on concerts such as Stevie Nicks, Drake, and Paramore, and getting to like work those and be a part of those events, and also get those shows like ready to go. I think that was really fun. And either sports or entertainment for marketing, I think, doesn't have to always be sports. Being on that entertainment side showed me that there's like other things to do, and it's just equally as fun. And then just like the content stuff, I've been working on a lot of like editing videos and creating videos, taking photos, And so I think that's been something that I've really enjoyed working on. Sometimes, it's a lot of hours just sitting there editing, but I don't really mind it, and I've had fun doing that. So we've got a question in the chat. Do you feel like SJMC helps students network outside of the classroom? I guess I can go first, and then we can just work back. There's been like events for speed networking events. I haven't personally signed up for any of them, but I have like worked one of them taking photos. And even though I wasn't like signed up and I wasn't networking, I still met somebody. They gave me like their contact info, and we still got to chat for like good 10 to 15 minutes. So I think, outside of the classroom, there will be opportunities to network with people. Even if you're not intentionally seeking it, you will meet people along the way, and you'll have those great conversations, and you'll get your foot in the door somehow.
I had like 5 people to think of my answer to go around, but I would say yes. I think you naturally, you start to see like familiar faces like within your classes, and you network in that way. So maybe not directly in the classroom, but outside. But I also think taking advantage of the opportunities that SJMC provides, like whether that be through internships or trips or what have you, really provides what's the word? The space, the space to network with your peers. So.
Yeah, I've met some really cool people through the journalism school. I've also met a lot of really cool people just through my internship here in the department. We've talked to Ty Rushing. He does a lot of work throughout in Iowa. New York Times columnist. We met Kimmy Chex, who does NFL Sideline and NFL Total Access. She's also a graduate from Iowa. So just really cool people that we've got a chance to kind of network one-on-one with. And also any student can go to those as well because they do provide Q&As. So, but the one-on-one access to those contacts are great and a great way to network in the journalism school. And I wouldn't get those type of opportunities without this internship. So,
similar to what Kennedy said, I feel like in my job so far, I meet pretty much everyone that's in the journalism program. So I pretty much recognize at least everyone by face, if not by name. So it's definitely helped me be able to, just know everyone that's here. And we also got a lot of classroom experience that have helped with that as well. I was in a strat comp writing class, and we worked with the hospital on their strategic communication campaign. So that gave me a lot of experience with networking outside the classroom, but also kind of blending that together with what we were working on in the classroom as well. So that was a good experience.
Yeah, I think the School of Journalism, Mass Communication, and the Daily Iowan together have a very strong alumni network. I've met a lot of DI and UI SJMC alum, just working at various internships and just in the community, and going to like the Iowa Newspaper Awards. There's a ton of them there, and so I feel like just in general, most alumni, hit them up on social media or through email or something. They're more than willing to help out, and I just think that there's a very strong alumni network within like a lot of the alum at the School of Journalism.
The precarious shift over a beverage.
I just put that there for aesthetics.
Oh, is there anything in it? I love the prop. Yeah, I'm like so scared of knocking it over. And
What's in it? That's actually Mike.
Yeah, I would say personally, prior to college, I think I was not anti-networking per se, but it did leave like a weird taste in my mouth, just the idea of like this transactional relationship, which that perspective entirely shifted once I came to college and actually like started networking with people and meeting people, because, whenever I meet like a J School alum or message someone on social media or shoot out an email asking if they could do a virtual coffee, because that's the phrasing, everyone is super kind, and it's not like a, hi, my name is Jamie and I want a job. It's more of like having a real conversation with a human being and actually making connections. And the journalism school is definitely like a great connecting factor between different people in the professional industry. And I would say that all of the alums that I've reached out to have been more than willing to talk and have given some really great advice.
I'm gonna start using that virtual coffee.
Oh yeah, it's so good. They eat it up. Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things about Iowa that I've told people who don't go here is that it's not a small campus, but sometimes the community feels small in the best way possible. Somebody brought up familiar faces earlier, and that's more true than you can imagine. Like, you walk around, you see the same people, but like not in a dang it, I'm seeing the same people. It's like I'm seeing the same. You kind of build a relationship. And I think sometimes networking is inherent. Like, I didn't know there was a drone class. Now I know there's a drone class, and I'm gonna take that drone class. So that's pretty cool. And you start to learn people through that. And it's a lot more than just like faces. Like, you learn names, you learn experiences, you learn where people are working, what internships they've worked for. So that's a pretty cool thing with Iowa. Of course, as people mentioned, Kimmy Checks came in. I'm big into sports, so like when Kimmy came in, when Wayne Drace came in, when Chantel Jennings came in, I jumped at that opportunity. Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge, they also came in. And so these are opportunities that I love, but I think there's so many opportunities outside of just the sports realm that I haven't experienced yet. The speed networking, as you mentioned, the New York Times columnist, like that's something that I should pursue in the future, but those opportunities are open for anybody. There's never an email that says this is only for sports reporters, this is only for news reporters. The emails are like, anybody is welcome. So that's the coolest thing, is it's very inclusive here. I think that just is kind of a testament to Iowa. Like, you're never ruled out of anything. It sounds cheesy, but there's no limit to what you can do here at this university.
I got a question to the group. What is?
Oh yeah.
Watching for the screen where I see my hand point.
What is advice you would give to someone coming in next semester, first year, or transfer student?
You don't want to answer?
I'll go. Can I ask a question?
I would say just to jump at every opportunity. One thing that I learned from my networking is to say yes to everything, especially at the age we're at, just because, okay, you do have a lot of free time in college, okay, and so it seems like we're overwhelmed a lot, and half the time I am, but I would not undo any of the experiences I've gained or quit doing an experience or job, because it's supplied me with so much connections, real world experience, and just honestly confidence in that I can go out into the real world and hold a job and do good at it. So just say yes to everything.
Yeah, my advice would be to just keep an open mind, because you can go into college and have an idea of this is exactly the route you want to go down, but usually life will throw, a wrench in the way. So, that's the good thing about the journalism degree, is that it allows you to change with what you decide to do. But as long as you keep an open mind and, like Kenny said, you do say yes to at least some things that you're thinking about doing, it'll definitely pay dividends for you down the line.
Yeah, not to keep plugging the Daily Iowan, but I think just like, joining clubs like the Daily Iowan, or it's not a club, it's a student newspaper that does a lot of things, but like, finding those opportunities that while you're here at college you can explore, whether that's joining, the online news association or something like that, or coming to work at the Daily Iowa and getting those real world experiences while you're still here at the UI, I think is probably the best advice I could give, is just to kind of find those opportunities and join them, like Kennedy said.
I feel like what everyone has said has been incredible, so this is my piece of advice that is kind of niche but also has paid so many dividends. Go to office hours. I love office hours, especially in the journalism school. Like, now I will just walk up to a professor's classroom and sit in their little because their offices are right across the room from where we have classes, or right across the hallway from where we have classes, so I'll just pop my head in and chat for 10 minutes with a lot of professors. So cool. Everyone, all the faculty and staff members at the university are incredible, so go to office hours, make these connections right from the beginning, and then utilize your professors as the incredible resources that they are. I wish I knew that sooner, because I was sophomore year, started going to office hours and meeting people, and I was like, that groundwork could have been laid last year. But yeah, practical advice, I hope.
I would say to, make sure you're choosing classes that you think you're actually going to enjoy and that you're interested in. You don't want to just be taking classes that you just sitting there hoping like the clock kind of ticks by and it's over with. Obviously, like Josh said, like be open-minded towards the courses that you're taking, but also just making sure that you're having fun in that course. I don't think I've picked a bad course yet, and so I've enjoyed all the ones that I've had. That's because I knew what I wanted to take, and like I just spent time looking at it. And then also what Jamie said with the office hours, you know, it's not always about having to talk about class specifically. You can go to that professor that you have or other professors in the School of Journalism and just, like, you know, ask them if you can go to their office hours, or just make an appointment with them and just talk and chat and get their experiences and that type of stuff.
I think one big thing that I've learned is it's okay to be afraid or scared of jumping into an opportunity, but it's not okay to let that hold you back. Like, you can do things with a little bit of fear, but like once you get into it, you're going to get so much more comfortable. Like I kind of mentioned, I did not have any anticipation to come into TV here, like at all. I did radio in high school, but I was never into TV. But when I found out about radio, I found out about TV, and then I accidentally applied, and I was like, well, okay. So I got an email back from Michael Merrick, and I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this, you know. And that first week was like, I was iffy. I didn't know anybody, and that's the weird part about college sometimes, when you're like, you don't know people, you're trying to like jump into a conversation, see when's the right time to throw a joke out there. But that is probably one of the coolest things that I've learned is, like, you know, not everything you're gonna do you're gonna be comfortable with right off the bat. So I think it's okay to be a little bit nervous or a little bit scared sometimes. And then the second piece of advice is just to say hi to people. It sounds so simple, but you have some classes with 100 people, and that's kind of tough, like big lectures. But when you have classes of 20 people, learn names, get to learn people, listen to people. I think that's the biggest thing. Like when somebody asks you about your weekend, don't just say it was good. Like, engage in it. Be a human, don't just be a robot. And that's the biggest thing about this school here at Iowa is, like, once you learn the people, you learn more about them. And I just think that's cool to learn about people when all you see is like their face. Like, learn their name, learn what they do, see what they like to do for fun. So it's like my big piece of advice. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can really say it a lot better than everyone else did, but I think saying yes to opportunities is incredibly important. And I mean, if the opportunity you find out it doesn't go your way or the way you thought it was going to go, at least now you know, right? And I also really firmly believe in the idea of going and talking to professors on office hours or what have you, because I think getting to know professors, like just even on a personal level, just ask them about who they are outside of work has really paid dividends for me. Because like I feel like anytime I've had to go to a professor for like something specific after I've gotten to know them, I always feel like they're a little more inclined to help me out rather than just some random student who's never been to their office hours. So I'm really happy to say that I have a really good relationship with all the professors I've had, so really enjoy that.
I'll ask a question to all of you. Have any of you chatted with the support team or the support staff that's in the student center, be it Jake, the student success and engagement coordinator, or
Who's that?
I don't know. I heard they have a face for radio. But have you, or Michelle Silman, who helps students with internships and job placements and stuff like that. And obviously everyone knows and loves Anna, the advisor, like the GOAT. I know I heard horror stories as a student that were like, yeah, my advisor didn't help me at all, but Anna will just like lay out your whole 4 years for you if you really want to.
She'll do it if you don't want her to.
That's true. That's true.
I would say I have leaned on Jake and Anna the most. I think coming in here as a transfer student, Anna was super receptive, especially when I was at my community college before I came here. I did not have a super great advisor, so coming here I was a little tentative, but I knew I had to go, and Anna's been great. And Jake has been great. I don't know. He's got a face for radio, but that's okay. But my first real interface with Jake was I was in multimedia storytelling. I was editing a news piece, and I don't remember who it was. I probably wouldn't say his name anyway, but coffee spilled on my keyboard. His coffee spilled on my keyboard, and I just kind of like, I don't know what to do. So I went to Jake. I'm like, I'm out of computer for at least the foreseeable future. And Jake took me right down to student checkout and got me a computer. And I think those computers are meant for graduate students. So I got a special circumstance thanks to Jake's sweet talking. So that's my student support story.
Yeah, going off that. Well, Anna is incredible. She's like one of the best advisors and like help of all time. So, cause yeah, I like my life planned out like to a T. So yeah, Anna has, she's made it really easy for me, and so has Michelle. I'm starting abroad this summer, so I won't be doing an internship. So yeah, you can imagine how stressed out it was about that. So Michelle kind of made me realize that it's not the end of the world and that I can always get one later down the road. So, and then obviously Jake, he's my boss. So they have helped me with a lot of everything, basically. They've given me real life experiences, new opportunities. So yeah, I take an account and an advantage of everyone in the student center, and I take advantage of all their help. So
Yeah, Jake is also my boss. So but no, us four peer mentors and Jake work really well together. I've learned so much just from being a part of this team. We meet once a week to develop kind of a plan for the next week or next several weeks, and we it's just been an experience that I definitely wouldn't trade for anything. And then also, obviously, I am one of the many who will give flowers to Anna. I just feel like I had political science was my principal program, and I switched it just because then I could have Anna as my principal advisor. So I utilized her efforts a lot, and she knows about a lot more than just the journalism side of things. So yeah, I would definitely give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, just to continue that train, Anna is great. She's very helpful with planning out classes, any issues you might come up with, things like that. I'd have to give a shout out to Michelle though, because I was thinking back to my getting my internship for the Cedar Rapids Gazette. When the on-campus interviews happened, I had unfortunately come down with COVID, and so Michelle was very helpful in getting in touch with Zach at the Gazette and kind of getting a separate interview with him, just because for unfortunate circumstances and things like that. So they're very helpful in getting in touch with the internship coordinator and things like that, and I think they've all been very helpful. So.
Jake's also my boss. But I will say, for any student that's doesn't have Jake as their boss, you can always knock on their door, always ask them questions. They're always helpful no matter what. Just like Chase said, the computer incident. So, and then for Anna, she's always helped me with picking out classes and everything, making sure that I'm ready for the next semester. As long as you go, you're slightly planned going to the meetings with her, she'll be ready and she'll help you out, and she'll make sure you're on track. And then for Michelle, we don't talk as much, but I know I always see her emails for internship opportunities and just any job opportunities, networking opportunities, and that's really helpful. I may not always go to them, but I know that those opportunities are always there for me, and that she's always updated on that. And I think that's really, really helpful and really supporting when you have somebody that's always trying to provide these opportunities for you, regardless if you're not, always looking for them.
It is really tough to have a bad day when Jake's always walking around smiling everywhere you go. I'll walk out of a class and have a bad grade, and he's like, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Better now," So that's great. So Jake's always been there. He's helped with a lot of opportunities. Anna as well. I haven't talked to Michelle as much, but she's persistent with those emails, and I open them. I haven't pursued any yet. I'm sure I will in the future. But that's, again, there's another thing. It's even if you don't use it now, it'll be there for you in the future. So the resources are just kind of never ending to that extent.
Thank you all for the kind words. I that wasn't fishing, but I appreciate it very much. It is 11 a.m. Thank you, everyone who's watched and who plans to watch in the future. Definitely, if you're an alumni, reach out to me at jacob-mayer@uiowa.edu if you want to get to know any of these students a little more. And students who participated today, thank you so much for participating. And definitely talk to Michelle. Michelle knows all, sees all with internships and jobs. We're always finding crazy new things. So definitely take advantage of that. And everyone, thank you for watching. And tune in next year for a way bigger, cooler stream.